I've got a little bit of a problem. It is a scorching hot Vietnamese day out here, and my pasty ass is about to get real burnt. Okay, that is a problem, but it's definitely not the main one. See, I live on the road, and that means I don't actually have anywhere I can keep storing my ever-growing collection of external hard drives. And I can't really invest in a good NAS or RAID system, which is just another permanent storage solution. Instead, I just keep investing in these little bastards and filling them up and making my bag heavier than it needs to be, or already is. It's way too heavy. It sucks to carry around, and it kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do here. Ever since the beginning of my career as a YouTuber, videographer, filmmaker, camera dude, whatever you actually want to call it, I always thought that things like 4K resolution or how many megapixels your camera has or just the brand of the camera, whatever it is, I always thought those were the things that were going to get people interested in watching my videos. I always wanted to make these cinematic masterpieces with the best color grades and, I don't know, some amazing Hollywood standard. You've seen the videos I'm talking about. To me, as a beginner, that was what I thought it meant to be a successful storyteller and filmmaker. When in reality, those things are super important, but to think they're the most important, I believe, is a mistake that a lot of beginners like myself make or think about. Not make, just, yeah. It's not the best mindset to have. That's what I'm saying. I've also started to realize that people really don't care what resolution they're watching a video or a movie in, at least most of the time. I don't even check, now that I think about it, I never check if something's in 4K or 1080 or 6K or whatever. If someone tells me, then it's cool, good to know, but I never really check. I'm losing my water bottle. Look, at the end of the day, it matters to some people more than others, and that's okay too. Okay, out of nowhere, this wind has just got absolutely insane, but we're still going to try to do this anyways. So, in today's day and age where technology is advancing faster than it probably ever has before, it seems that people are starting to cling on to older, more simpler times. Times when all we really had was our creativity and a pretty mediocre, at the time it was awesome, but a little point and shoot camera. Or do you guys remember those VCR-C tapes, like mini VCRs that you'd have to put into a converter VCR? All right, this has now been 3 cameras I've shot with that are all capable of shooting in 4K and 1080. The question is though, can you actually tell the difference? I don't even know. I've pretty much never shot 1080 with any of these cameras, so I have no idea how this is gonna look. Let's go check. Ciao. So, what do you think? That was all recorded straight from camera. I didn't do any color grading on basically all of it, apart from the shadows and highlights on a few clips. But honestly, it looked pretty damn good. The 1080, I couldn't tell much of a difference. Let alone, I'm someone who watches YouTube videos never in full screen. I was just watching through that little window. Like, if I was zooming in, maybe then you obviously start to see the breakdown a bit quicker, and does it give you a little bit less wiggle room when it comes to editing and post, yeah, but I don't know. For your everyday viewer, you guys will have to tell me. To me, that seems perfectly fine. Also, the other thing I've sort of glossed over, but it's arguably the main point of this video, is storage. The difference between 4K and 1080 in terms of how much space you're actually taking up is enormous. I've had a look here on Canon's website, and based on their spec sheet, a 1-minute video of 4K is approximately 1.2 gigabytes, whereas in 1080p, you're looking at 333. So literally a quarter of the amount in 1 minute. Now, if I'm recording one of these videos a week and on average it's a 4 or 5 minute edit, that means I've probably shot about 20 to 30 minutes. And so as you can understand, that starts to rack up very quickly. I mean, this right now, shot in 1080. Looks pretty good to me. I mean, the lighting in this new apartment we have is horrible, and I've only got a tiny little light, but either way, if I was shooting this in 4K, probably, the difference for this style of content is really not that big. Now, I will say, obviously, if you are shooting short films or documentaries or things that you intend to be viewed on other platforms, or I guess you could say on bigger screens. So with laptops and phones, resolution is definitely nowhere near as important. But when it comes to giant cinema screens or nice 6K, 4K, Ultra HD TVs, whatever, then things like this do become a little bit more important. And I understand that. But I guess the point of this video was for someone like me who is not creating for that kind of audience, I guess, at least not right now. I think 1080p is going to be just fine. So the moral of the story is data is still pretty expensive and definitely a pain in the ass to deal with. Next time you're at the park filming your dogs or your kid with your phone or maybe your DSLR, whatever it might be, maybe you should just reconsider whether to actually shoot in 4K or not. Do you really need it? 1080p is still pretty awesome. Make 1080p great again. Okay, that was stupid. All right, bye.